Hey there everybody, Rhino here, stopping by a local area flea market to see what kind of video games they have. I know online they posted that they would have some people selling video games here, retro video games specifically. So I'm going to take a look and see what I can find and maybe get a good deal. See you soon. All right, just got finished going through the flea market, ended up finding a video game seller. He had a bunch of NES games that he was selling. I ended up picking up quite a few of those, as well as one Super Nintendo game, Super R-Type. Now, he had prices on all of them, but he was negotiable on them, especially after I offered to trade some of my Pokemon cards. So I went and grabbed some of those, traded them in, and got a pretty good deal. This whole kit and caboodle for about $100. So we're going to see what kind of worth I ended up getting from all of these games. So when we get back to the house, I'll start sorting through them and we'll see what we got. Well, as you can see, I made it back to the game room and I've got all of the games here. Now, I've started to take a look at some of their prices, and I have a good feeling that I'm going to at least get my money back on this, if not a little bit more. But before I just go through and tell you what all the games are priced at, I want to tell you a little bit about each one of these games. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one, Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Kabuki Quantum Fighter is an NES game released in 1990 by HAL Laboratory, which you might know for its work with Super Smash Bros., Kirby, and Earthbound. In this side-scrolling action platformer, you play as a guy who transferred his mind into a computer to battle a virus, very similar to Tron. Apparently this guy has a Kabuki actor as an ancestor because that's what he transforms into, a Kabuki actor. And he can use a variety of weapons, including his own hair, as a way to defeat enemies. This is a generally well-liked NES game, scoring somewhere around 4 out of 5 stars, and it currently sells for about $24 online. Up next is Wizardry Knights of the Diamonds, the second scenario. This is the second game in the Wizardry RPG series. Originally released for the Apple II in 1982, it was later ported to the NES in 1990. In this very Dungeons & Dragons-esque title, the player guides a party of adventurers through a 6-level dungeon. Being the second game in the series, players are expected to have already finished the first game, so there's very little tutorial involved, and this one starts off at a higher difficulty level. This game averages around 4 out of 5 stars and is worth about $36 for a good loose NES copy. Destiny of an Emperor is a strategy RPG released by Capcom for the NES in 1990. Loosely based on the events portrayed in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, this game has the player controlling leaders of a small militia unit attempting to defend their village from rebel armies. After defeating various enemy units, you may find the general of that unit offering to join your party, leading to a playable character list of over 150 characters. This is another well-liked RPG and it averages 4 out of 5 stars and goes for close to $40 online. Mickey Mousecapade is a 1988 NES platformer released by Capcom. In it, you play as Mickey Mouse traveling through various locations with Minnie in tow. Sometimes Minnie gets kidnapped and Mickey has to save her. However, the main point of the game is actually to rescue Alice in Wonderland, though you wouldn't know it from the box or instruction manual. IGN listed this as the 86th best NES game of all time, and it currently runs for about $8 online. This interesting looking game is Clax, an arcade puzzle game released by Tengen, which came out in an unlicensed black cart for the NES in 1990. In this semi-clone of Tetris, players move a paddle from side to side along a conveyor belt, catching different colored tiles, and trying to catch claxes, which is when 3 tiles in a row, sideways, up, down, or diagonal, all match. 100 waves of tiles come at the player and they have to try to match and clear all of them without filling the well below the paddle or missing 5 tiles. The game is ranked 44th on IGN's Top 100 NES Games list, and goes for about $9 online. Gradius is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game released by Konami for arcades, and then later ported to the NES in 1986. In it, you control a spaceship that shoots down alien ships as it makes its way to each level's boss. Along the way, you can get powered up by collecting capsules. This is considered one of the forefathers of the shoot-'em-up genre, and is a very popular game, ranking 34th on IGN's Top 100 NES Games. It currently goes for about $14 online. River City Ransom is a classic 1989 NES beat-em-up and is one of the most well-known NES titles out there, even appearing on Nintendo Switch Online all the way back in 2018. In it, you control Alex or Ryan as they move through River City and try to save Ryan's girlfriend from Slick, a local gang leader. It uses a password system to help players save their progress, and this game does contain some RPG elements, such as stats, skills, and money. It is ranked 15th on IGN's Top 100 NES Games list and is currently selling for $34 online. Here's Maniac Mansion, a point-and-click adventure game released in 1987 for the Apple II and Commodore 64, later on ported to the NES in 1990 for a North American release. In it, Dave Miller tries to rescue his girlfriend Sandy from a possessed scientist as he navigates an insane mansion full of horror film and B-movie cliches. This game is somewhat edited from its original computer versions, as Nintendo was worried about inappropriate content for children, but this game is still lauded for its comedy, cutscenes, and gameplay. It's ranked 61st on IGN's Top 100 NES Games list, and it runs for about $24 online. And finally, the last game I picked up was Super R-Type for the Super Nintendo. Now, this 1991 shoot-'em-up is actually a partial port of the arcade title R-Type 2. This is known for being an incredibly difficult game without in-level checkpoints, and it suffers from major slowdown whenever there are multiple objects or enemies on screen. Though very popular back in 1991, this game's review scores have suffered in the modern age, going down to about a 3 out of 5. Now, I mostly picked up this game because way back when I was a kid, I remember seeing Super R-Type in the Super NES Games secret book that I used to use to help me find all the secrets for Super Mario World. It's actually the title that follows Super Mario World in this book, so I always remember seeing the pictures and how creepy they were and how fun that game looked. Now, despite its low review scores, this game is going for about $12 online today. And those are the 9 games I picked up at the flea market. Now, I spent about $100 in cash, plus I traded in about $50 worth of Pokemon cards, and altogether these games are worth about $200. So definitely got my money's worth out of it, and I'm pretty happy with that. I can't wait to get these games up on the shelf behind me. I want to play a couple of them as well. That Kabuki Quantum Fighter really looks interesting. But I gotta find some free time to play some of those games. My backlog is getting pretty full right now. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please go ahead and leave a like and consider subscribing and helping me grow this channel. I really do appreciate all of the support I've gotten over the last few weeks as I've been starting up and getting this channel going. It really warms my heart to see how many people have been enjoying and commenting and liking and sending messages of support. So thank you for that. And if you want to leave a comment on this video, go ahead and tell me which of the 9 games stood out the most to you. Which one would you most like to play, or did you find the most interesting? That's going to do it for me today. I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great evening. Rhino, out.